Hi, my name is Jessica and welcome to my YouTube channel. So as you can tell by today's title, we're talking about culture shocks. Culture shocks I experienced as a Nigerian living in America. If you've been here for a while or if you just got here and you want to be like, and you want to know what is it like, what do I need to know about this country? Like, what should I be aware of before I come here, or just like social cues. Okay, so this is good for Nigerian students who want to come here, or for anyone that just wants to know, or just for Americans who just are curious about what we think about the country. So yeah, just if you're interested in this kind of content, please keep on watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Okay, so I'm going to be doing my makeup while I'm telling you about the culture shocks. This is not a tutorial. This is just what I do on a normal day. So don't be out here being like, what is she doing? Well, shut up. I'm going to start off with skincare. I'm gonna start off with skin. I'm so sorry. This is my first ever real sit down video because I've shot this video before, like this exact video. I've shot it before, but for some reason, like I didn't like how it came out. So yeah, so I'm going in with my advanced snail mucin powder. Like I feel like if you're on TikTok, like if you're a human being, like in general, like you should know what this is. I promise y'all, I'm nice. And forgive my tape reflecting at the back because I live in an apartment and I don't want to be fined or sued for puncturing their wall. Okay, so I've put in my skincare. I'm gonna go in with the Good Molecules. I don't know if this is backwards. YouTube hands, niacinamide serum. I just love niacinamide from any brand. Going in with my Good Molecules daily moisturizer. I know it's beat up and all that, but the first culture shock I experienced was the fact that everybody is individualized. Like everybody in your neighborhood is your auntie and your uncle. Like for you to go to school and come back, like the people in your streets, like for where I grew up personally, they know what time you're going to school. They know what time you're coming back. Like everybody knows everybody. Like when you're a teenager, you know, those hormones start kicking in. You start, start talking to the opposite sex. Like you start being like, oh my God, like, we like each other. Iyasiki rat on the street that sells batteries and nylon paper would be like, hey, is that not Jessica talking to that boy? And then my mom would be like, hey Jessica, guess who told me what I saw today? Like you can't even be out here playing because everybody knows everybody's business. Like, I mean, it has its pros and its cons, but it's the fact that if you're going through something, like everybody knows, like to the point that everybody knows that, oh wait, like mommy Sikira is like lost her baby. Let's go to her house. Let's cook her food. Oh, mommy Sikira gave birth. I'm gonna go to her house. I'm gonna bathe her baby. Gonna do all this for her because why not? She's the girl, like she's the neighbor next door. But here, nobody knows your business. It's different because I live in the South and I live in a very small town. Not that small, but it's not like big enough for it to be like, you know, Houston or something, but it's a small town. Here, nobody's going to know your business unless you tell them. Like nobody's going to know. Like even though like people say like Americans tend to talk a lot, they really don't go that deep. Like they'll first tell you that their first daughter did methamphetamines and for them to tell you that they're struggling with depression. I'm gonna go off camera and do my brows and I'll come back. Okay, I'm back. I know this isn't like heaven on earth brows. Like I said, this isn't a tutorial, so please. That's one thing I miss about Nigeria. Like everybody knows your business. Like it could be bad because everybody knows your business. Like you don't want everybody to be in your business. But those times where you need the help, those times where you need someone to pat you on your shoulder to keep on going, those times you need someone to be like, hey, you got this. Like somebody's always gonna be there. And like even like speaking of like the future, like if you and your partner, your husband, like want to take care of the child and both of you have to work, somebody in the neighborhood, an auntie can travel all the way from the village to come take care of your kid. The community is what I miss about Nigeria. Like Every little thing is a gathering. Especially me, I lived in the southwest of Nigeria, and if you know anything about southerners, like southwesterners, they love a good party. Yoruba people love a good party. I'm Igbo, by the way. I'm trying to remember what my makeup steps are. I'm gonna go in with my concealer. I already put my primer. I have the e.l.f. It's all messed up. I have the e.l.f. primer. Next, we have the greeting etiquette, the respect for your elders. So by the way, I'm doing just the concealer type of makeup. I'm not doing, you know, the whole full vibe, because I just came back from church. I'm going to another church event. So yeah. So the greeting etiquette here, like the respect etiquette. So for me, because I came here for school, like in class in Nigeria, like whenever your teacher is like talking and it's like past their time, they just have to keep on talking. Like nobody's going to be like, you're not supposed to be here anymore. Like, you just let them keep talking. But in here, once it's like 2 minutes towards like the end of the time, you'll be hearing zippers, zip zip zip, like people are ready to leave the class. Like even if you are talking, let's say the class ends at 2:15 p.m. if you are talking at 2:70 p.m. that class is gonna be empty. Yep. Or near empty, because people are already gone. People have time. Like time is money. Okay, I think that's one thing for me. But like in Nigeria, I don't know if it's a respect aspect or the fact that we just don't we don't value time as they do over here. But to me, I just find it like the first time I was here, I found it very like kind of disrespectful that we would just like up and leave. We just up and leave the teacher in the class talking. Like while the teacher is talking, like we're already like leaving. We're not saying anything. Like we're not like saying, oh, we're not like waiting. So I think that was it for me. I was just like, oh, why is everybody leaving? Like respect the teacher. Like teacher is still here. In Nigeria, like we call professors or like anyone older than us, we have to give them a title. Even if it's your big sister, you don't call her by her name. Who do you think you are? You're not calling her by her name. You're calling her auntie or sister or miss or Mrs. By the way, I'm using the Sephora Best Skin Ever. Best Skin Ever in the shade 50N. I think that's what it is. It's to the point that our principal, like back in secondary school is like high school, we will call them daddy. Like I remember back then, it used to be so weird to me. Like, why are we calling this man daddy? Like, this man is not my, like, I don't know this man from anywhere.
I don't know who this man is. I mean, he could be walking down the street. I wouldn't know a thing. Sorry to this man.
But here, your professors, obviously you have to call them Mr., like just for the respect. But if you're talking about them, you can be like, oh, Izeta's class was this and this and this. Like in Nigeria, you cannot describe your teacher without using a title when they are not even there. Like it's that crazy to me. It's crazy to me. Like, obviously it's good to have respect, but sometimes it goes overboard. I remember one time I was in a gathering where there was a doctor there, and there was a doctor there, and one girl, like, you know, maybe just out of habit or something, she didn't use his title. She didn't use the doctor title. She called him Mr. instead of doctor, and this man legit slapped her in the face. This man slapped her in the face. Just I wouldn't slap anybody if they didn't call me. Like obviously being a doctor isn't like a joke. Like it's years of hard work, but I'm not gonna slap anyone over some freaking some title that, you know, I'm even here to even help people. Like I'm supposed to be helping people, not slapping people for forgetting my title just once. So yeah, it's that crazy. Like someone, like you can meet an older person, like this person can be like 60, 70-year-old and can be like, hey, call me Mark, call me Jesse. I know I look crazy right now, but stay with the process. The food here, I feel like you've heard this 1,000 times from like people who have done this kind of videos, but sometimes I feel like I have blush blindness. Like To me, like, there's no such thing as too much blush. Like, you've probably heard of this like 100 times, but the food here is very like processed. Like, everything is in cans, everything is in bottles, everything is in packets. Like, nothing is made already. Not nothing, like people make stuff from scratch, and that's why it's a very big achievement to make stuff from scratch. Like, people bring a pie to a party and be like, ah, look, made it from scratch. Because it's a big achievement. Like, nobody makes stuff from, even cake, like they have cake mix. Like, if this was Nigeria, they would have jollof rice mix, and I think it's even out because we have a lot of Nigerians living in the States. Everything is made from scratch back home. Like your stew, like your rice, like there's nothing processed. Like, nobody has time for anything to be processed. Like, that's why cooking food back home takes a while. Like, you have to set out a whole day to like cook your meals, like your food. I tend to like cook my own food a lot, like, because first of all, who has the money for that? I have okra, not the way we cook okra, but they have okra, like they fry okra, like, yeah, they fry okra. They have boudin, they have gumbo, just stuff here that is good. Like, in the south where I am, the food is good. They tell you, oh, they don't season their food here, blah blah blah, but then I come to the south straight from Nigeria and I'm like, wait, why does it kind of taste good? Even the chicken here is like soft. Like, you know, the chicken back in Nigeria is like hard, like the flavors, like it tastes so good, but the chicken here is soft. The eggs taste different. I don't know, to me, I'm just like, I miss Nigeria a lot. Like, because I also miss my Igbo soup. You know, I can eat all that in Houston, but it's crazy expensive and it's not authentic. Like, it's not from my mom's pot. Hi mom. Because in Nigeria, if you're going for a wedding and the wedding starts at 9 in the morning, like with church or something, like it just starts in the morning, nobody's coming there until 5 in the afternoon, because the main event is what we're here for. And the main event is not going to start until people start showing up. I'm not saying like Nigerians don't respect time, but it's the fact that there's traffic, there's car problems, like there are people work. If you're setting an event in Nigeria, don't ever think people will show up for the first 1 hour at least. Here, if they say 2 to 5, if you come there 5:15, you're not meeting anybody. You meet them packing the chairs. You literally meet them. Even if it's Nigerian weddings that are hosted here, you meet them packing the chairs, because here time is literally money. Like, you cannot be wasting people's time. So like, once your time is gone, it's gone. I don't know if I showed it, but the powder I'm using is the Fenty Beauty in the shade Honey 05 spray. Speaking of like time being a factor, whenever we were in Houston, like for a little graduation trip for my friend Jamima, anywhere we went to, we had to make out time for the drive. We couldn't just be like, oh wait, let's just run it, maybe we just run out. Like, we have to set a time to be like, okay, this is the time we're gonna be on the road, this is the time we're gonna get there, this is the time the event starts. Like, we weren't just like higgy haga, because if you come there 10 minutes late, 20 minutes late, your time is running, your money is running, your clock is running. So yeah, time is a very big aspect here. And then speaking of my Houston girls trip, go ahead and watch it. Pause this video, no, finish this video and then go ahead and watch the trip. The next one I would say is the work-life balance. Like, we all know back home, you really don't start working until you're well into your 20s. Not well into, but at least when you finish your bachelor's. A lot of people, they either live on campus or live with their parents. I feel like most people don't really start work until they graduate with their bachelor's. Like here, as soon as you're 16, 17, 18, you gotta start putting in money for rent. You gotta start saving up for your car. Privilege enough for your parents to buy your first car, for them to pay your tuition or something. But here, you start work early. Like, I've never had a job until I got here to the States. So work-life balance here, because people be like, oh, you're making money here, that you're in America, you're making money, but your bills are gonna eat you up, the taxes are gonna eat you up, the groceries are gonna eat you up. Like, work is all we know here. Public transport, like here, especially in the city I live in, you have to have a car. or you have to have money for Lyft, Uber, all those ride-hailing apps. You can't survive with walking like New York or like the bigger cities. You have to have a car here. Like, baby, I wasn't gonna spend $2,000 a month on Lyft or Uber. Like, I had to find a way to walk around, to move around. So yeah, like back home, having a car is almost like a luxury, but here having a car is a necessity. It's a need. Another culture shock I have is health care. So healthcare in Nigeria, like there's this law they call the EMTALA law. Anybody that gets into the ER here, no matter what they look like, no matter where they're from, no matter their insurance status, you have to treat them. You have to treat them, even if it's an emergency. Like, especially if it's emergency, like you can't be like, oh, where's your insurance card? Oh, do you have money? Like, you have to treat them. But in Nigeria, I don't know how it's been now, but back then, like if you didn't have money, even for like labor, I remember like watching movies or like hearing stories of like people who have given birth and they can't leave the hospital because the husband has to find money for the labor, like for them to deliver for the delivery, like delivery fees. But here you have to deliver the child. You can't lock them in the hospital, like, but the only thing is that you're gonna be in debt. America's healthcare is the most expensive in the world, like compared to other countries. But like, for example, studying medicine here is way more expensive than studying medicine in Nigeria. There's so many culture shocks that I have for y'all. If y'all want to see, you know, more culture shocks that I experience, or y'all want to see my nursing school videos or more stuff about nursing school, just let me know. Like, let me know what y'all want. Like, let me know what you think about this video in the comments. Let me know what culture shocks you experienced when you got here. And yeah, thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share.